All right, good morning. Shilow Norton operations for Team 4. Kind of go over what we've been doing the last couple days. We'll start at the top on the north side, what we're calling the Pot Creek Road, which goes all the way across the north side of the fire. This was a contingency line that was put in. There's a dozer line on top of the ridge, and right on the north side of that ridge is a series of roads and some roads that we ended up pushing in to connect to one another, just to access that dozer line in there so that they could get equipment in there to help hold that line if they needed to burn it. With that, there's a lot of work that's been done. Right now, the main work that they're doing is trying to improve that road so that whenever conditions improve, be able to take and start hauling out some of that lumber or some of that wood, get it processed into firewood and deliver that around to the different communities. So right now that's what the plan is. That's going to be a pretty big operation. Won't be able to start for probably a couple weeks, but got about 10-15 days left to get that road improved, and that's the main focus right now. As they go along that road, there is they've opened up some borrow pits along there to get some material to fill in to make better drainage along that road. So as they go and they get the material out that they need, then they're going back in and they are rehabbing those pits that they created. So a lot of work still to be done. They got a grader, some dump trucks, excavators, all working on this line, working from the west to the east. And they're about right in here right now. And then this area right here was just a dozer line that was punched in. They had a bunch of wood staged along the side. A lot of that wood has been hauled up here to this 5 road, which is above the 64 road. With that, there's some culverts that we are working on getting purchased and some fill, and going to try to get that plugged in. We're just waiting on the contract to be able to purchase that equipment. Down in this whole area over here towards Cook's Peak, this whole area right here, we haven't had people in it for the last couple of days. We ended up yesterday, for the first time, we were able to get a division in. He's a local division. We'll get him plugged in. He talked about 3 or 4 landowners yesterday coming up with a plan for work in that area. And as we get that area scouted out, we'll kind of know what we have for the future. But a lot of work to do, and we'll be getting started on that today. The North Repair Group has been working around Chacon, Sierra Bonita, and then all the way down around Mora, Cleveland, Holman, and they finished up most of the stuff that they were working in around Ladue. But all of this land right in here, it's a series of, for the most part, it's private landowners that they're working on. But there's a lot of stuff that was gone indirect around those houses, dozer line, cut fence, and different things like that. So there's some chipping going on in there. They got some excavators, or many, I think what it is some skid steers that they're working in there. And then getting whatever equipment they need to rehab those dozer lines and fix the fence and try to work with the landowners, make sure that everything is repaired from what was tore up from the suppression repair, or from the suppression activities from the fire. So with that, moving down into Division Alpha, we staffed it yesterday with a new division. We got an excavator working over here by the skating pond. That dozer line had washed out with the big rains we got a couple days ago, and so they're going to get in there, see what they can do to fix that up. Also, there was some dozer lines out here by the lake that was on flat ground. Some of the fence line was already repaired, but some of the dozer little berms on the sides were not pulled back. So they got some hand crews in there, jumped the fence and started just doing that by hand. And so they got all that work done yesterday. Think that we're pretty wrapped up in that area, but as the day progresses, there's more and more that comes up. So the main focus with that division right there is in Upper Guyanas. When it gets onto the Forest Service land up north, that road kind of parallels the creek. Some of the creek had a series of logs felled during the fire. Some of those went across the drainage, and they're inside the drainage, and they're worried that it'll plug up the stream bed, and so they're going to try to get those pulled out today. They'll start working on it. It'll take 2 or 3 days to get that done, but they're working to get that stuff pulled out just so that it clears the river channel, and there's no log jams in there that tears up any of the culverts or the infrastructure down below. Over here on the south end, we've got, I think, there's a Type 4, which is a smaller excavator working, and 2 other large excavators working on all of these lines up in this area right here. So all of this area, there's a whole series of dozer line in there, and they're just steadily working on them and progressing to the north, and that'll be ongoing. A lot of good work just taking a while. Over here in the I guess it's a Holden Trail that was converted into a UTV line. They're still working south from the Beatty's cabin. They started way up there. They skipped a little portion and then started working all the way down towards Iron Gate. And they're about halfway down to Iron Gate right now. They're making good progress. There's also a series of dozer lines that come down towards the main road, and we're working on those right now, trying to get those rehabbed. All the material that was left up at the sling spot, there was a bunch of hoses and pumps and all that stuff. All that is taken out. They got all that stuff out of there. We did plug in a new division. We're calling it Division November. They're going to start concentrating on all of this area right in here. So if you go up towards the Sipapu ski area and the 518 corridor, as that progresses down, everything right in here will be kind of that new division. That'll be their responsibility. So we'll have some folks in there working. Hopefully they can get in there. We've had just a couple of engines and a little skid steer working behind some of the private property in this area. It's been pretty slow going, and they've been spread pretty thin because they're working for the Division Sierra, which is in charge of this Pot Creeks Road and that. So with that, they're spread out a little thin, so we're going to get some more folks in here to try to get some of this stuff done. Also, the 442 road that goes in right in here, there's a series of dozer lines that kind of connect in between a bunch of old fire scars, some rock outcroppings, and then using the roads. And they're going to get in there and see if they can't get that rehabbed. And they're working with the districts to see exactly how they want that. But they got an excavator started and a crew started today on that. They got them walked in there yesterday, got barely started before they ended up coming back out. So a few housekeeping items. Just wanted to talk about what we're here for. We're here for suppression repair. Basically, that's to fix the actions that were taken by the firefighters to stop the fire from spreading. A lot of that is dozer line, a lot of road work, hand line, thinning, brush, slash that was created. So that's our main focus. There is flooding going on, and that's really not in our responsibility, and that's not what we're allowed to do. We'd love to help out however we can, and we'll do everything that we can within our scope of duty. Let me give you some numbers real quick. So with that, there's the for the public flooding issues. If you have any public flooding issues, please call the state EOC. That number is going to be 1-800-432-2080, and they will be able to contact either FEMA or BEAR, or they'll contact the county or the state highway or whoever has responsibility for that area. And we're all working together, and we all try to help out everybody as much as we can, but there are limits on what we're allowed to do. So I wanted to pass that on. Something else with the QR codes, and that's for the landowners that have work that would like us to come out and help you with for suppression repair. They did make a link that is that you can click on for Spanish. So if you don't understand English and need to go through that in Spanish, that is available. And the Facebook page that has been being used, I think, is a Calf Canyon and Hermits Peak Facebook page. That's going to be going away. So now they're going to be moving that to the Santa Fe National Forest Facebook page. So I would imagine all the same information that you've been getting for the fire on the Calf Canyon site will be the same now, just on the Santa Fe site. So with that, if you have any questions, please leave them on this. I'll try to answer them here in a couple days when we get back to you. We'll continue to try to serve and help out as much as we can. So appreciate it. Thank you.